Love is one of the greatest tests of human resilience. When things get tough, emotions cloud our judgment, and we feel lost, wondering if it's time to walk away. But before you give up on her, before you let go of something meaningful, take a step back and embrace the wisdom of Stoicism. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, did not just teach us about hardship, discipline, and strength. They also provided powerful lessons on love, relationships, and how to navigate the storms of human connection. In this video, we'll explore Stoic principles that will change how you see love, heartbreak, and commitment. By the end, you'll have a new perspective, one that could save your relationship or help you walk away with wisdom and peace. So, before you give up on her, watch this. 1. Love is not about control. Many men struggle in relationships because they seek control over emotions, over their partner's actions, over the outcome of love itself. They believe that if they can just say the right thing, act in the right way, or anticipate every problem, they can control the relationship. But the truth is harsh. You cannot control another person. You never could, and you never will. In Stoicism, control is one of the fundamental illusions that lead to suffering. Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us, and some things are not. What your partner says, feels, or does is not up to you. The only thing you can control is your own mindset, actions, and reactions. So before you give up on her because she isn't acting the way you want, ask yourself, am I trying to control something that is not mine to control? 2. Love is about virtue, not desire. Many relationships fail not because of a lack of love, but because they are built on shallow foundations, desire, infatuation, and fleeting emotions. The Stoics taught that true love is not about passion, but about virtue. A Stoic man does not chase love for pleasure alone. He seeks a relationship that cultivates wisdom, patience, and character. If you're thinking of giving up on her, ask yourself, was this relationship built on something real or just an illusion of love? Most modern relationships begin with excitement, romantic dates, passionate nights, and the thrill of novelty. But over time, the excitement fades, and many men mistake this for the end of love. They think, I don't feel the same spark anymore. Maybe this isn't the right person. But the Stoics knew better. Love is not about feelings, it is about values. Desire is temporary, but virtue lasts. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If a relationship is built on physical attraction and emotional highs, it will crumble under the weight of time and hardship. But if it is built on shared values, respect, integrity, discipline, it will endure. A man who prioritizes desire will constantly chase the next thrill. He will never be satisfied, always seeking something new, mistaking lust for love. But a Stoic man understands that relationships require commitment to virtue. He does not ask, does this relationship make me happy? But instead, does this relationship make me a better person? If the answer is yes, he stays and cultivates it. If the answer is no, he walks away, not in anger, but with wisdom. This is why so many men sabotage their own relationships. They chase pleasure, then blame their partner when the excitement fades. They become restless, believing that something is missing, when in reality, they have failed to cultivate a deeper connection. A Stoic man understands that love, like anything valuable, requires effort. He does not expect constant excitement. He seeks growth. He is not a slave to passion, but a master of his own mind. To apply this in your own relationship, shift your perspective. Instead of asking, what am I getting from this relationship? Ask, what am I giving? How am I contributing to something meaningful? Instead of seeking validation, become the kind of man who naturally attracts deep, virtuous love. The Stoics believe that external things, wealth, fame, beauty, are secondary to inner character. The same applies to relationships. Love should not be about what she gives you, but about how you grow together. Before you give up on her, ask yourself, was I loving with virtue or just chasing desire? Because true love is not found in passion alone, but in the strength of two souls who build something greater than themselves. If you understand this, your love will not only survive, it will thrive. 3. Attachment is the cause of suffering. One of the greatest sources of pain in relationships is not love itself, but attachment. The fear of losing someone, the need for constant validation, and the inability to accept impermanence. Stoicism teaches that suffering arises not from external events, but from how we perceive them. Love, when approached with a possessive mindset, becomes a breeding ground for anxiety, jealousy, and emotional instability. A Stoic man, however, understands that everything in life, including relationships, is temporary. Instead of clinging to love with desperation, he embraces it fully in the present moment, while remaining prepared to let go when the time comes. Most men struggle with attachment because they mistake it for love. They believe that needing someone is a sign of deep affection, when in reality, it is a sign of emotional dependency. The more you attach your sense of happiness, identity, and self-worth to another person, the more you place your peace outside of your control. This is why many men spiral into despair after a breakup. Not because the relationship itself was the ultimate source of joy, but because they relied on it as a crutch for their own emotional stability. Stoicism teaches us to love deeply, but without dependence, to cherish the presence of a partner, but never to believe that life ceases to have meaning without them. A key Stoic practice to overcome attachment is negative visualization, contemplating the loss of what we value, not to be pessimistic, but to appreciate what we have in the present. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everything he loved would one day be gone, not as a way to detach from the world, but as a way to love more wisely and without fear. Imagine, for a moment, that the person you love is no longer in your life. Would you crumble? Would you lose yourself? If the answer is yes, then your love is not based on strength, but on emotional dependency. A Stoic man cultivates a mindset where he can say, I love her, but I do not need her to be whole. This is not indifference, it is emotional maturity. Attachment creates suffering because it turns love into possession. The more you fear losing someone, the more you try to control them, leading to jealousy, insecurity, and resentment. But the paradox of love is this: the more you try to hold on to it, the more you push it away. A woman respects a man who can stand on his own, who loves her without chains, and who remains calm even in uncertainty. The moment you let go of attachment, you free yourself from suffering. Love her not because you need her, but because you choose to every single day. And if the day comes when the relationship must end, walk away with gratitude, not regret. Because a Stoic man understands that love, like life, is fleeting, and that is precisely what makes it beautiful. For expect hardship, it's part of love. Love is not meant to be easy. Many people walk away from relationships at the first sign of difficulty, believing that hardship means something is wrong. But the Stoics teach us that struggle is a part of life, and therefore a part of love. Nothing valuable comes without effort. The idea of a perfect relationship free from conflict is an illusion. Every great love story has trials, times when emotions run high, misunderstandings arise, and both partners are tested. Instead of seeing challenges as signs that the relationship is failing, a Stoic man sees them as opportunities for growth. Hardship is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. Just as a blacksmith forges steel through fire, love is strengthened through adversity. Most men expect relationships to always feel good, and when they don't, they assume they are with the wrong person. But feelings are temporary, and Stoicism reminds us that we should not be ruled by emotions. Marcus Aurelius teaches that we must approach life rationally, with discipline and patience. When faced with arguments, disagreements, or even emotional distance, a Stoic man does not react impulsively. He does not panic, blame, or flee. Instead, he pauses, reflects, and seeks wisdom. He asks himself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Am I acting with virtue and patience, rather than fighting hardship or avoiding it? He uses it as a training ground for his character. If you love someone, expect moments of doubt. Expect moments of frustration. Expect moments when your patience is tested. This is normal. Love is not about avoiding hardship. It is about enduring it with wisdom and resilience. Walking away from a relationship just because it becomes difficult is like quitting a workout because your muscles ache. Pain is a sign of growth, not failure. The more you endure, the stronger you become, not just as a partner, but as a person. However, there is a key difference between constructive struggles and toxic relationships. Stoicism does not mean tolerating abuse, disrespect, or consistent suffering. It means knowing when to persevere and when to walk away with dignity. A relationship built on mutual respect, shared values, and virtue is worth fighting for. But one that is damaging your soul and betraying your principles is one you must leave behind. The challenge is knowing which is which. Before you give up on her, before you assume that hardship means the relationship is doomed, ask yourself, is this a challenge I can grow from? Or is this a situation that is fundamentally misaligned with my values? If it is the former, endure. Become stronger. Learn patience. If it is the latter, walk away, not out of anger, but with wisdom, knowing that true love should build you, not break you. Either way, accept that love, like life, is a series of trials meant to shape you into something greater. A Stoic does not fear hardship. He uses it. 5. Sometimes walking away is the Stoic choice. There comes a time in every relationship when a man must ask himself, is this relationship still aligned with virtue, growth, and wisdom? Stoicism is not about enduring suffering for the sake of endurance. It is about recognizing what is within your control and making choices that lead to a life of strength and peace. If your relationship is filled with constant turmoil, emotional instability, or a lack of respect, walking away might be the most Stoic choice you can make. A relationship should challenge you, but it should not destroy you. Staying in a toxic or one-sided relationship out of fear, guilt, or attachment is not love, it is weakness. A Stoic man understands that not all battles are worth fighting. He does not stay in situations that drain his energy, compromise his principles, or diminish his self-respect. Walking away is not an act of failure, it is an act of wisdom. Before making such a decision, ask yourself, is this relationship rooted in virtue, or am I staying because of fear? Am I growing into a better person, or am I becoming bitter and resentful? If a relationship no longer aligns with your values, you must detach without resentment, without anger, only with peace and gratitude for what was. Many men stay because they fear the unknown, but a Stoic man embraces change as part of life's natural cycle. Love, like all things, is temporary. Holding on too tightly only leads to suffering. If you must walk away, do so with dignity. Do not beg. Do not argue. Do not seek revenge. Simply recognize that some chapters must end so new ones can begin. Stoicism teaches us that true strength is not in clinging. It is in knowing when to let go. If she is not right for you, accept it, learn from it, and move forward with grace. Let go of resentment and carry only the lessons. The man who can walk away from what no longer serves him is the man who commands his own destiny. A Stoic does not dwell on what could have been. He focuses on what is and what can be. So if the time has come, leave not with anger, but with wisdom. Because sometimes walking away is not just the right choice, it is the only choice. 6. The power of self-sufficiency in love. Love, when approached with a weak mind, becomes dependency. But for a Stoic, love must never become a crutch. It must be an addition to an already fulfilled life. Many relationships fail because one or both partners seek external validation, relying on the other to fill an emotional void. This is a mistake. A Stoic man understands that happiness, peace, and purpose come from within, not from another person. If you depend on a woman to make you feel worthy, loved, or complete, you are building a relationship on a fragile foundation. You must first be whole on your own. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." A relationship should enhance your life, not define it. If you rely on someone else for your emotional stability, you will live in fear. Fear of losing her, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. But when you cultivate inner strength, when you become a man of purpose, discipline, and self-respect, love is no longer a need, but a choice. And love that is chosen, not out of fear, but out of abundance, is the strongest kind of love. Before you give up on her, ask yourself, am I expecting her to fill a void I should fill myself? A Stoic man builds his own happiness. He does not chase love to complete him. He shares love because he is already complete. 7. Sometimes walking away is the Stoic choice. Not all relationships are meant to last. In some cases, the most Stoic decision is to walk away, not out of anger, resentment, or pain, but out of wisdom and self-respect. Many people stay in relationships out of fear. Fear of loneliness, fear of change, fear of regret. But Stoicism teaches that clinging to something that no longer aligns with virtue only leads to suffering. If a relationship is filled with constant disrespect, emotional turmoil, or a lack of mutual growth, it is not a test of endurance. It is a signal that you must move on. The dichotomy of control reminds us that we cannot force someone to change, love us more, or treat us with kindness. The only thing we control is our response. A Stoic man does not beg for love or force someone to stay. He understands that true love is freely given, and if it is not, then it is not worth having. Walking away does not mean failure. It means recognizing that your time, energy, and peace are valuable. It means choosing dignity over desperation. If leaving is the right choice, then do so with grace, without hatred, without regret, without clinging to what was. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. But your peace, your principles, and your growth are always within your control. A Stoic does not fear endings, because he knows that every ending is also a beginning. Love is not about control. It is not about attachment. It is not about seeking happiness from another person. It is about virtue, wisdom, and growth. Before you give up on her, ask yourself, have I approached this relationship with a Stoic mind? Have I focused on what I can control? Have I loved with strength, not weakness? And if the answer is no, then perhaps it is not time to walk away, but time to change your approach, to love better, to grow wiser. But if the answer is yes, then walk away with dignity, with peace, with gratitude for what was, and confidence in what will be. Because a Stoic man does not love in fear. He loves with wisdom. Thank you for watching. If this video gave you insight, leave a comment below. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom on love, relationships, and life itself.